Ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Monday, December the 19th, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here, the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. Appreciate you all tuning in. We got a lot to get into. Very excited to chat with you here on this Monday. It is the week of National Signing Day. It is also the week of Christmas. How about that? Christmas in 6 days. This upcoming Sunday, Santa Claus is coming to town. Again, appreciate you all. We are live on the Daily Crow taking your questions, your comments, and your calls. I see C. Youngblood, John Edward, Justin Langford, Hunter Kelly, Chase Floyd, Travis Allen, Travi, Stephen Borwell Jr., Stephanie Lee, also those in the Big Cock Club Discord. Head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure your questions are answered there. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in, of course, always. TDC brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Go download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. When you do, use the promo code TSUS. It's sign up to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. You can play anything and everything, college sports, pro sports, anything and everything in between. So many fans and listeners of the Spurs Up Show have made tons of money with our friends at Prize Picks, and you should as well. Again, go download the app or go to prizepicks.com. And again, when you do, use that promo code TSUS to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. The phone lines are wide open. You can also text the number 843-790-3377. Big recruiting weekend for Shane Beamer. Tons of welcome homes rolling in. Podcast did drop this morning talking, and I recorded the podcast yesterday before all of the welcome homes were announced. So you might notice I don't talk about the commitments by name. And if you're wondering why, that is the reason why. Also, we have an update from the man, the myth, the legend, Robbie Davis himself, who reached out to me this morning. If I can find the DM, let's see. Robbie said, "Hey, man, I'm spending time with some family for the next couple of days. So I will give my rebuttal about Chick-fil-A either tomorrow or Wednesday, but you will get my rebuttal. That's a promise. Go Gamecocks. Zaxby's rules." So Robbie Davis has spoken today, and I will be counting down the seconds until we hear the Robbie Davis spiel on Chick-fil-A versus Zaxby's, right? Travis Allen has found a spot in Lot J that didn't break the bank. Great to hear. Yeah, again, next week, guys, next Friday. It's literally not this Friday, but next Friday. Gamecocks take on Notre Dame in the Gator Bowl. We will be in Jacksonville. I'll be down there Wednesday through Saturday. Really looking forward to it. Going to be a good time. We'll be in Lot J for the TSUS tailgate, partnered up with our friends over at Carolina Cigars. Highly suggest you come on out. We'll be out there from 11 to kickoff. We'll have the Irish packs on sale. Yours truly will be smoking an Irish pack. Going to be a really good time. We'll also have the koozies and the towels for sale, which I want to update you on that. 98%, I would say, of orders have gone out. Probably most are delivered by now as well. I'm getting out the final run of koozies, mainly is what it is. Those will be sent out by tomorrow. You will have them by Friday, so you will have them by Christmas, as I promised, if you ordered by December the 12th. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and jump to the phone lines.
Call from
Hunter.
Hunter, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. What about you?
I'm doing well. What's going on?
Not much. So what's going on with Sellers and the QB? Like, do you think there's any good luck for them at all?
Lenoris Sellers, the quarterback. I guess he's a Syracuse commit. I don't know if I'm sure we're working to sway him. He's a really hot name. I tell you, I get asked about Lenoris Sellers a lot. I don't know exactly where he sits. Is he a kid that wants to go out of state? I mean, I really just, to be honest with you, I don't know. I haven't followed his recruitment super close.
Right.
And I understand. I asked the question to people like, why do you want him so badly? Because we are loaded at quarterback. Like, I don't know how many more we can really take. But I mean, I understand. You never want to let in-state guys like that, 4-star quarterback, you never want to let them get away. And obviously, everybody you talk to rants and raves how great of a player he is. So, I'm sure Shane Beamer and company are getting after it, at least trying to recruit him and get him to Carolina. And signing day on Wednesday, I guess we'll see what he does. But the last I heard, he's committed to Syracuse, and I don't know. I think a lot of it comes down to, again, man, numbers. I mean, we've got, and this is if Rattler doesn't come back, we've got Luke Doty,
Right.
Colton Gauthier, Tanner Bailey, Braden Davis, and Dante Reno all on our roster. So I just, where does he fit in? Is there room? I think that might factor into it as well. But, we'll see. But I've heard nothing but good things about LaNorris Sellers. And, again, I think that's probably one of the reasons so many people ask about Sellers and his will he be coming to Carolina, if you will. But, we'll just have to wait and see, man.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
So I mean, I don't know how all this whole commit thing, So, and like I played football in high school and all, but like I only played up to my junior year, so I obviously don't know what this whole commit thing works. Like so, like say if you committed to a college and he committed to Syracuse, can he like flip anytime he wanted to? Like say if on that signing day he can, just like come to us if you really wanted to.
Yeah, once he signs his NIL, his national or his excuse me, not NLI. I'm getting my acronyms mixed up. Once he signs his letter of intent, it's official, right? There's no more flipping. He is enrolled. He's going there. But that's not, the reason signing day is signing day, Hunters, because that is all signing day is. That's the first day that you can sign that letter of intent, right? That's what makes signing day what it is. So up until then, up until he signs the letter, and you don't have to sign it on Wednesday. I mean, there's kids that I think Nick Harbor is probably going to be one of them that wait until February or wait until the spring to sign their letter of intent. So as long as he hasn't signed his LOI, he can flip. Yeah, but once you sign that LOI, you're locked in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that, man. I had to get that question out there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Hunter. Always a pleasure.
No problem, man. You take it easy.
Yeah, man. You too. Thanks so much. Yeah, again, of course, guys, it is the week of National Signing Day. Wednesday, content will be bleeding out of the eyeballs, of course, even more so than normal, of course, with all the signees coming in, and it's like Christmas for college football fans. And I think Brad Crawford, good friend of ours and good friend of the show, I thought he put it beautifully on social media this morning when he just said national championships are won this week. I mean, it's true. It's really true. So national championships are won this week in signing day. Craig Phillips says, when are you getting a Big Cock Club gigantic hat? Yeah, I got to take a look. How much is a gigantic hat? Let's see. And can you get it custom? That's the question. Okay, so it's $59. That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad, but what team is my question? What team would you get? Or like what? Huh. It's not bad. Anyways. Yeah, of course, National Signing Day on Wednesday. Really excited. So, yeah, I get a lot of questions though about LaNorris Sellers, and I just wonder, I would love to bring him home too, but I mean, is he a must get in the class? I mean, is he, how many quarterbacks, I mean, you want to keep the kid home, but like how many quarterbacks can you realistically have on your roster? Austin Lewis, again, what's the chance LaNorris Sellers? I don't know, my friend. I don't know. I know he's been committed to Syracuse, I guess, forever. Maybe he wants to get out of state. So Andrew Horrell still wondering if Dante Reno is going to come in 2023 or still wait for 2024. I would imagine 2023. I don't know for sure, but it seems like it's trending to 2023. Wesley Bowles watched the kid from Newberry College play a few times. He's the truth. Yeah, that's a big one. Go Wolves. Go Wolves indeed, man. Newberry boys built different. The Newberry boys are built different. Yeah, I mean, you look at his stats, over 3,000 yards in his career. I think he had almost 20 touchdowns this past season. Really good player. Justin Langford, if Beamer, White, and Gray go all in on Travis Hunter, it could do wonders for our program. No, it wouldn't, Justin, because he's going to Colorado. That is just – he's either going to Colorado or the school that throws the biggest bag. I think we'd probably be wasting our time with Travis Hunter. I do. I think we'd be wasting our time. So, yeah, I mean, I would be floored if Travis Hunter doesn't go follow Deion to Colorado. I would be floored, my friend. Floored. So, I guess we'll see, but I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. Travie, I'll bet you money he's going to Colorado. I'll bet you money, Travie. Peyton, thoughts about men's basketball with 2 non-conference games left before SEC? And I was at the game, obviously. I was at the game on Saturday. Thoughts on men's basketball? It's rough. You know, it's brutal, Peyton. It's brutal. It's we're not very good. You know, and I'm not telling you anything you didn't already know. But, you know, we're not a good team. And we're fans. You know, we're fans of not a good team. That's just the reality of it. And nobody expected this basketball team to be world beaters in year one. I think what's tough for people to grasp is they could have lived with, and we could have lived with a rough season in the SEC. But when you're losing by nearly double digits to East Carolina, you're losing to teams like George Washington, right? You're trailing in the second half to a Presbyterian when you're when you're getting blown out by UAB. I think that's what's really tough. That's what's tough. And again, knew it would be tough in year one. I guess what's a really tough pill to swallow, though, is just like, where does men's basketball sit in regards to how much do people care about men's basketball? I hate to say that, because we all know, right? It's a sport that you have to win to draw support almost. Like, they don't just go hand in hand. Like, Gamecock fans love their basketball team, but they need a product to support, right? Like, you're not going to fill CLA. You're not going to, you have to put a product on the floor. You just have to. And I think at this point, Gamecock fans would rather do anything than watch South Carolina men's basketball. And I see somebody commenting saying UMass is 7-1. I think they're like 8-2 or something. But Cade says UMass, maybe we should have kept Frank. I don't think that's the case necessarily. I mean, listen. The only person to blame for Frank Martin not being at South Carolina is Frank Martin. That's it. I mean, the guy had 10 years, and he had 3 or 4 seasons after the Final Four, and they did nothing with it, man. And I just don't know. I don't know how you can blame USC or Gamecock Nation for him not being here. I mean, I feel like this fan base tried to be as patient as possible. And I'll tell you this, because I get labeled by some as like I was calling for Frank Martin's job. If you go back to that, if you really go back and you look over the spring, if you look at over the spring in regards to the basketball season and my coverage and my content, was I like 110% just, fire Frank Martin, like he's a disgrace to USC? I didn't say that. All I said over the spring was, I think this relationship has run its course. That's how it feels. If South Carolina would have brought him back, I wouldn't have even balked at it. I would not have thrown a fit. I would not have gone crazy. It just felt like the relationship had run its course. And why is that the case? Because in college basketball, and I guess that's what makes this season so tough. In college basketball, if you're not making the NCAA tournament, right? If you're not making the NCAA tournament, like, your season is just a wash. Like that's the whole point of the college basketball season, right? That's the whole point. And so if you're not making the tournament, fans just almost completely lose interest. They almost just completely lose interest. And, obviously this year we know what the deal is. And it got to that point with Frank Martin where apathy set in, because you could just count on every single year you weren't going to the tournament, right? And that's sort of just the minimum expectation. People want to go to the tournament. I know that hasn't happened a lot for the Gamecocks over the years, but it's something you want to see happen more often, like, obviously. So anyways, I just, I mean, I'm certainly not trying to be doom and gloom on this Monday about the basketball program. Again, I think, here's what I'll say. Gamecock Nation loves their basketball. Gamecock Nation loves a winner above anything else. We pack out the CLA for women's basketball, and that's not me. I'm not trying to, say anything obviously negative about women's basketball, but I'm just saying that like we pack it out for Dawn Staley's team. You can't sit there and say that we don't love our basketball. We would pack out CLA for a really good, to even just slightly above average men's basketball team. But honestly, like the unfortunate reality I feel like in men's basketball, maybe it's because maybe I'm speaking from a slanted view because I'm not a huge basketball guy, but the way I see it, at least since in my lifetime of being Gamecock fandom, since 2002, 2003-ish, it's always been football, baseball, and then basketball. It's always been that way. And like I've never known South Carolina basketball to be all that great. You had the back-to-back NITs in 04, 05. Those teams were a lot of fun. Carlos Powell, Torrance Kinsey, Zam Frederick, those guys. Ronaldo Balkman, dude, I loved Ronaldo Balkman. Probably my all-time favorite player, Ronaldo Balkman. So much fun to watch. Then you had Devin Downey. They didn't really win a whole lot, but he was masterful and beat number 1 Kentucky. And then Frank Martin takes over, and you go to the Final Four. But I mean, outside of that, and then you look back at like what was it, 1997? They were really good, and then the Frank McGuire days. And outside of that, I mean, dude, basketball is just, it's just kind of there. It's just always kind of been there. It's not like we really count down the. I mean, I'm sitting there. If you really want an indication, or if you really want an idea, because like I tell you guys a lot, I have a very unique vantage point when it comes to Gamecock Nation, this fan base, because of content, because of the platforms we build on social media, etc. I mean, if you really want an idea, I'm sitting there trying to post countdown videos to basketball season. And of course, that's happening in the midst of football. And I'm posting these countdown videos, and people literally are commenting, who cares? It's football season. Like people, basketball to me, this basketball program, it's like the redheaded stepchild of the athletics department. It really is. It's just kind of there. You acknowledge its presence, but you don't embrace it. It's just there. And that's a shame. It is a shame, but it's there. It's just there. That's all it is. It's just there. And we hope it can be good. We would like for it to be good, but it's just there. It's just that thing that fills up the month and a half between the Gamecocks bowl game and the start of baseball season. That's really what South Carolina basketball has turned into. And maybe Lamont Paris, obviously that's why you hired him, to get to the point where you bring serious competitiveness and competing for the NCAA tournament, at minimum the NIT, just postseason play. That's why you hired him. But for most of my Gamecock lifetime, South Carolina men's basketball has been the redheaded stepchild of the athletics department, and just that thing that occurs in the gap between a Gamecocks bowl game and the start of baseball season. And I think the only thing that's going to get people excited about men's basketball is winning. Bottom line. It's just winning. A winning product. That's it. A winning product. And I trust Lamont Paris, and I believe he can do it. But, if you think the history and the lack of tradition is against Carolina football, I mean, Gamecocks basketball is a whole other level. A whole different level. So maybe he can turn it around, get it going. And William Crook, I'm really not on Lamont Paris's ass. I'm talking about the program as a whole. I'm not talking about Lamont. I knew Lamont. I knew this season was going to suck, Will. I knew it was. We all knew it was. But that's just what I'm speaking on, is not a Lamont Paris thing. This is a South Carolina basketball thing. South Carolina basketball, again, it literally right now goes football, in my opinion, football, baseball, women's basketball, men's basketball. That's just the way I see it. So, and I apologize to the redheads who are watching. Redheaded stepchild is an expression. I've got nothing but love for the gingers, so sorry about that. It's an expression. I apologize. Anyways, let's see. Somebody commented, Jacob E says, I hate to be that guy, but the welcome homes from the weekend so far were really underwhelming, in my opinion. I mean, I'm excited for the welcome homes. I mean, Jacob, I guess you were expecting one of them to be Nicholas Harbor or somebody else. I don't know. What were you expecting? What underwhelming compared to what? Underwhelming compared to what? You know, I mean, I'll put it to you this way. Unless this is my approach in recruiting, unless you are like a 5-star top of the line kind of guy, my reaction's always sort of the same in recruiting. Like I know you need to recruit at a high level to win. Obviously you do, but a 4-star has basically the same amount of success as a 3-star, as a 2-star, as a transfer, as a, you know what I mean? Because your rating, I mean, it's important. Don't get me wrong, it's important. But what you do when you get on campus and put in the work and put the pads on, put the garment, but that's what I really care about. I mean, it's your ratings and everything are just kind of a side note. I see we got my guy Tyler Sutherland, a.k.a. Mr. Slapdick of the Day in the building. What's going on, Tyler? I appreciate you tuning in. Been called worse by better, my guy. Gene Lott, the O-line from Yale, had several offers from Power 5. Yeah, I've heard he's a stud. I've actually heard he is a stud. So, I mean, again, we've seen Shane Beamer and company attack the transfer portal, address their needs, if you will. And, I think they're going to do that again. So I trust Shane Beamer on the recruiting side of things. I really do. I trust Shane Beamer on the recruiting side of things. They're going to get the guys we need. And, I thought the pickup from Florida, while a guy that he has not played, 6'6", 243, great size. I mean, maybe, what can you get out of him? We'll see. But, yeah, Coach Ford, listen, I'm not a guy sitting here telling you that stars don't matter. I'm not. I'm just telling you, the point of what I was saying, Coach Ford, was like, I don't overhype. I try not to overhype guys. You know what I mean? I just, because here's the thing, Coach Ford, if we're really honest about the recruiting side of things, and 24/7 and Rivals, they do a great job and they rate the players. And I mean, it's fun. I mean, these businesses are wildly successful covering recruiting, right? They're wildly successful. But I mean, you've never heard, for any school, this is not a South Carolina thing, you've never heard or seen, right? Like an NFL team can sign a guy and you can be like, that signing sucked. You know what I mean? That signing sucked. Like, you can just say it, right? Or you think that guy's a bum, you'll just say he's a bum. Have you ever heard of a college picking up a 3-star commitment and a writer, an analyst, who have you, going on record and openly, publicly creating content and saying to the masses, this guy committed 3-star, he's okay. Probably ain't going to play a whole lot, class. He's a roster filler. He's a lifetime special teamer. Not all that great. Doesn't project well. I mean, have you ever heard that? Every 3-star is a diamond in the rough. Every 4-star is a stud. Every 5-star is the next greatest player in school history. That's why I just try to go into it with a level head, man. I mean, it's some of the 3-stars are going to play like 5-stars. Some of the 5-stars are going to play like 3-stars. Some of the 4-stars are going to pan out. Some aren't. You just hope more pan out than don't. But I agree with you, Coach Ford. Yeah, so blue chip ratio is a thing. It's a thing for a reason. You have to have it, right? You need 50%. You can't win a national title if you don't have 50% blue chip ratio, 50% or greater. Yeah, it's a real thing. So, I mean, it's massively important. So, massively important. Chad Rogers, if you don't like what I'm saying, my guy, you can either call in or fuck off. I mean, one of the two. You can do one of the two. People got an attitude today. What's up with the attitude? It's the week of Christmas, man. Find some joy, like Beamer says. Find some joy. Nobody's got joy anymore. I don't know. We got a lack of joy. People on Santa's naughty list. You about to get coal in your stocking, my guy, and you probably deserve it. Let's see. Tanner Land, if you look back, we have had a lot of 4-star players not pan out. Well, I will say this. I mean, that was one of the things because I openly admit to you guys if I'm I'll openly admit, hey, I'm not a diehard basketball guy. I'm not. Right? I don't watch bunches of college basketball. I don't watch the NBA. I'm just not a huge basketball guy. And I've admitted, especially early on in TSUS, and Chad, I apologize. Very good. Very good. See, you got to be clear. You got to be clear. I think I was coming at you because that's my bad. I'm a slapdick for that. That's all good. I'll hold that. I'm a slapdick for that. Anyways, I've admitted early in the history of TSUS though that I was not a huge recruiting guy, but one of the reasons I fell out of recruiting was because Will Muschamp, who recruited well, all things considered, and you looked at the ratings and you looked at the stars, right? Recruited well. But what would happen is this: you'd invest all your time and emotion and getting this guy, getting that. I mean, I remember following the recruitment of Jamias Williams so closely, following the recruitment of Rosendo Lewis, other players so closely. And guys would get on campus and they'd vanish. They'd vanish. They would just vanish. And so that got old. You know what I mean? That's why I just kind of became like very passive in regards to, hey, coach, you get whoever. I'm not investing in a guy that, these guys come on campus and again, they just disappear. With Beamer, I've gotten much, much more excited about recruiting. I think especially when you see young guys like a Nick Imawari, as Gene Lott points out. You see a guy like an E-Man come in as a 3-star and ball out. You know what I mean? I think Shane Beamer in his early, his short tenure has done a good job in recruiting. And I think you look at the class this year, and we'll talk about it much more in depth on Wednesday. We've actually got J.C. Sherbert. He'll join the show Wednesday at 1:15. By the way, I saw somebody ask about Steven Garcia. No, that segment is over. I think we might get Steven next Monday if he can swing it. But that segment on a weekly basis is over, just to let you guys know. But we'll have J.C. Sherbert on Wednesday. We'll talk recruiting. We'll talk about the class. I think they're doing a good job of addressing their needs. And Coach Ford, like you said, trust in Beamer. Trust in Beamer. That's all you can do. You have to believe and trust that they are going to bring in the best possible players. And I understand why. And I'd still say this. I like recruiting a lot more. I've grown to like recruiting a lot more because of the content purposes and what it means for my business. And I know that you, the audience, love recruiting, right? I mean, I like it too. Don't get me wrong. But there's some people, I mean, y'all know, and some of you might be tuned in, and I got nothing but love for you. But there's some people, they love recruiting. Like over the top, like are all about the message boards. They're all in on the, all the star ratings and every player. And I mean, they love recruiting. Like they're on NCAA football, playing NCAA football, like doing the recruiting. Like I always skip that. Like I normally just play the games. Like I'm not doing recruiting and targeting players and allocating points to visits. And like there's some people that love it. They love it. And that's great. I like it. I like it a lot. But, I've grown to like it more. But and it's the lifeblood of your football program, right? I mean, you have to have it. You have to do it well. But I'm glad it's not my job. I'll put it that way. I'm glad it's not my job. Let Beamer and his staff and Beamer and company do their thing. And I believe I'll tell you this. I was never concerned. I was never concerned about recruiting when Beamer was hired. I really wasn't. I always thought Beamer would recruit at a high level. I always thought that, he did it before. He recruited some of the best talent we've ever had here. And so what he's doing on the recruiting trail is not like surprising to me. You know what I mean? It's very it's expected. I mean, I expected him to recruit well. So guys, really excited to next week get into the bowl game. right? It'll be game week this time next week. Really looking forward to it. It's funny. This time last week, I was sitting around saying, man, it's why can't things just chill, relax, slow down just a hair? And it's kind of weird. I feel like they have. So, today's combo, but that's some of the greatest content you can make is when things are still, when things are calm, and the conversation can just go a ton of different ways. You know what I mean? Cody, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. John Edwards is not emotionally invested in Gamecocks men's basketball. I hear you, John. You're a Duke fan. So what are you talking about? I know you're not invested in Gamecocks men's basketball. You pull for Duke. And I love you, John Edwards, but you have said that publicly. You have said that publicly. So, Jeff Gullett says we should redo the sim. The sim was garbage. I'm sorry for all those who tuned in. Madison, yes, it is cold. You were correct. Yeah, I went to the gym this morning at like 8 a.m., 8:30, something like that. It was freezing. It was freezing cold. So, yeah, it's cold. It's cold. Okay, John Ever, you pull for both. My bad, man. My bad. I'm sure it's easier though when you got Duke to fall back on, like, because they're good. We know they're good. Austin, appreciate you, man. He said good stuff this year. Enjoy listening to you, Austin. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. Again, some people out there commenting, Gavin, fair point by Jacob. I myself was hoping for some bigger names from the portal, but we can't complain what we've got so far. Guy from Newberry has high hopes coming in. And Gavin, listen, I'll tell you this. Some people will come down on you and call you this, call you that. I won't do that. That's fine. I get it. I get it. See, I mean, that's, and I'll say this, Gavin, like I'm at the point where, I always keep things a buck. I always keep it real. I mean, you guys know that. You obviously know how I roll, but you pick and choose what hills you want to die on. And so, like, you're not going to have a very long career, or you're at least, here's the thing. You could probably build a business out of being critical on signees. You probably could. Like, for example, I could go through these guys from the portal that we just got and like nitpick them and be very critical of the pickups, right? And that would be so going against the grain because, again, nobody does that. Every 3-star that Carolina signs, they're just the greatest steal of all time. They're you know what I mean? Like, if you're that person that you're willing to say, you know what, this is not a good pickup. Can you imagine? Like, and I'm not saying that about anybody, but like, can you imagine? You could probably build a business out of doing that. But the amount of shit and hate you will deal with in the process, it's just not even worth it. It's just not worth it. So I say this when it comes to recruiting. I'll say this when it comes to recruiting. And here's the difference. Will Muschamp built a track record of bringing in players, not developing them, not getting the most out of them. It was a bunch of empty hype. It felt like in every single recruiting class. Shane Beamer, thus far, in my opinion, has built a reputation of he has developed players. He's gotten the best out of players. And so when it comes to recruiting, I'm very excited for everybody we bring in, and I believe that they are bringing in guys that are best going to help South Carolina football. And so a guy like the Florida tight end, for example, right? Like, I'll be honest with you, when we brought in Nate Atkins, I think he was going to be some all-conference, all-American tight end? I didn't even think he was going to play. I didn't know. I was like, okay, guy from East Tennessee State or whatever. Like, okay, big deal. But then turn around, look what he does in the Clemson game. Look how much he played over the course of the season. So I don't think they're bringing in guys I think they're bringing in guys they believe can help them win football games and be impact players. And I trust Shane Beamer fully that everybody he brings has a purpose in his football program, even if they don't play, right? Even if they don't play. So I trust Shane Beamer in that regard, and I think we got the right man at the head of it. We got the right man steering the wheel, and that's my take on recruiting. So and it looks like you are going to finish top 25 in recruiting, maybe even top 20. And if you do that, you had a very successful year, in my opinion. I mean, how could anyone be upset or disappointed, with a top 20 recruiting finish. Even just top 25. If you're recruiting top 25 on a year in, year out basis, no, you're not hitting probably that blue chip ratio you'd like to hit, but you're getting closer to it. I think you're closer to it. If it still stands, you're closer to it under Beamer than you've been under Muschamp, certainly, and even maybe Spurrier. So, and that's what it takes. It takes meeting that threshold, that blue chip ratio threshold, right? You got to be 50% or greater, I believe is the number, to win a national championship. Nobody does. Nobody below that wins a national championship. So to even challenge the elites, you need to be damn near at that or above that. And so the closer you can get, the better. And I'm not saying you got to do that to be a solid program. I'm not saying, I think with a top 25 class, year in, year out, I think you can go 8-4. I really do. Which, again, don't sleep on 8-4. 8-4 is a good year. 8-4 is a good year for Carolina football, especially. I mean, I still stand by. If we averaged 8-4 over the course of a decade, we're crushing. I mean, we're crushing. We are. That is some fun football. Those are some fun seasons. I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. Average 8 wins over the course of a decade, I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. That's how you build a program. Jacob, I feel like we've been a top 20 class every year since Muschamp took over, minus the year he was fired. Yeah, I mean, we've never really struggled to recruit, John Ever. That's a great point. We really haven't. I mean, we that's another reason why I expected Beamer to recruit well. I mean, we haven't really ever we're able to bring in pretty good players. I'm not saying we're bringing in the best, but we're bringing in good players. So, yeah, Brad Vale, before Jada and Big Tree decommitted, we were really sitting pretty in recruiting. So maybe we'll get one or two of them, one or both back. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines.
Call from
Zach.
Zach, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. What's going on?
Not much. So how we looking on recruits this year? I know that we've got a few that popped up today or yesterday, but still looking pretty good for in the future.
Yeah, we are ranked 17th right now on 24/7. These are national rankings, of course. 17th in regards to top 25 classes or top classes, and then we are 22nd on Rivals. So I would expect, another top 25 class, maybe top 20, just depending on which service you're looking at. So, I mean, I think we're in a really good position in recruiting. I mean, Wednesday,
I do too.
Yeah, signing day, I'll really, we'll go down the list and really break down these guys yet again. But I know it's a line of scrimmage heavy class, linebacker heavy. I mean, you're addressing your needs, which I think is obviously the goal of any recruiting class is to address those needs.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're doing well.
What about that boy from Yale? Is he committed?
He is, yes. He actually made it official yesterday.
Okay, good. Because I kind of liked him. I think he's going to be a pretty good fit here. I think what oh man, I'm trying to think of his name. Rattler said at the meeting, we've got what we've got, and what we've got's going to work. So I know we've had a few for the bowl game, but I still think we had a pretty strong secondary. Actually, a very strong secondary. So I think even with this bowl game, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, all we got's all we need. So
That's all we need.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I'm impressed that Rattler's playing. I really am. I wouldn't have expected it. I would have bet a lot of money in the preseason on if we went 8-4 that he would have opted out 1,000%. But I think because of the way he played the first 10 games and wanting to put even more tape out there, and I don't know what decision he's going to make in regards to, does he return? Does he go to the NFL? I don't know what decision he's going to make, but I'm very happy he's playing. And, I would agree with him. All we got's all we need. And, I also don't blame those guys that, they made a business decision. It is what it is. And it's just the reality of college football. And you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to justify the decision making of an 18-year-old or 20-year-old or whatever. So it's just,
Right.
play with the
exactly
ones you
right.
got. And Notre Dame's got opt-outs too. And it'd be obviously it'd be great to win the game. And we all know the type of momentum and energy it'd bring if you could win that game.
That's right. That's right. I've been a Gamecock for a long time, and you know what? I would have been fine with 1-10 as long as we beat Clemson. As long as we beat them. My wife, she's a Clemson fan, and I've had to put up with this for the past 7 years. I was pretty happy with that.
I bet. No, I bet, man. I know a lot of people would probably feel the same way. We can go 1-10, 1-11, and as long as that one is the last one, that's the important one.
That's exactly right, man. Appreciate it. You have you a good one. Happy Monday, and to the moon, buddy.
Zach, you're the man. To the moon. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Take care. Great stuff. Brandon Wagner says, I think the Yale kid is a big sleeper. I would say, yeah, from what I've heard, he's a stud. So from what I've heard, he's a stud. Jeff Gullidge, can you explain how Reno can choose to be 23 or 24? How does he get to decide that? I think it depends on like credits and yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know exactly. Yeah. So y'all giving the caller hell for marrying a Clemson fan. Madison, I hope Jackson will be warmer next week in Lot J. We are going. Love it, Madison. Look forward to seeing you there. Yeah, be a good time. It'll be a very, very good time indeed. I'm looking forward to it again. We will be in Lot J outside of the Jaguars Stadium. Looking forward to it. Yeah, going to be a blast. Again, I'm really excited to talk about it. I love talking recruiting and making content in regards to, whatever it is, regarding the Gamecocks. But I'm excited to break down one more football game and talk key matchups, keys to the game. We'll be heading down to Jacksonville on Wednesday. So, guys, content update for you. We will rock as normal this week on the Daily Crow, right? The podcast that normally drops on Wednesday will drop on Thursday just because signing day is Wednesday. I would much rather record the podcast late Wednesday and sort of look back or recap or break down signing day versus have a show drop Wednesday morning and just kind of be like, hey, it's signing day. We'll see what happens. So the podcast, so you'll have podcast on Thursday, Friday, back to back. The Friday show will be a fun one. The Friday show will be our Gamecock fans Christmas wish list, aka the Dear Santa episode, which many of you enjoy. I enjoy it personally. I enjoy it very much. I'm thinking probably, guys, honestly, no podcast on Monday the 26th. I'll be at home with family and enjoying myself and enjoy my birthday. And and honestly, the big reasons, there's just nothing to talk about. Nothing's going to happen over the 24th or 25th that a podcast will be necessary on the 26th. We will probably rock. I believe we will rock TDC on the 26th. We will rock TDC on the 26th. TDC the 27th. Nothing the 28th because we'll be on the road. We'll be on the road to Jacksonville. Might do like a special Twitter Spaces while we're on the road, but no TDC that Wednesday. We'll do TDC Thursday, and of course Wednesday the game day podcast will drop, full breakdown, keys the game, prediction, all that good stuff, and then no podcast or TDC Friday because of course it will be game day. So got a packed week and looking forward to after the game next Friday. We'll have our recap probably, I think New Year's Day is Sunday. So that Monday, January the 2nd, that podcast will be the first, that podcast will be the breakdown of the game that happened in the Gator Bowl. And then that week, also the first week of January, we will look back. Well, that's when we'll do our 2022 year in review. And, it'll be a good time. James Kendall says nothing to talk about, huh? Some shit's going down Christmas Eve. If it does, James, and I'd be more than happy to record a podcast. It wouldn't bother me, but realistically, I think we'll be safe. Realistically, I think we'll be safe. I could be wrong. But we shall see. Guys, we've hit 12:45. Let's go ahead and jump into our first break. But on the other side, I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377 here on this Monday. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. One thing I want to highlight really quickly. Of course, again, Wednesday, National Signing Day. We're all looking forward to it. Was talking about blue chip ratio earlier, right? Above 50%. That's your magic number, right? Above 50%. It is predicted the past 13 national champions, the last 13 national champions have been above 50% blue chip ratio. So if you're not above that, you don't have a shot to win the national title. And I'd argue you don't even have a shot to really contend with the elites. Taking a look at South Carolina's class right now, right, as we sit here on this Monday, Gamecocks rank 17th nationally. They have 19 commitments, 11 of which are 4 stars. 8 of those are 3 stars. So South Carolina is above that 50% blue chip ratio in this 2023 class. I think you continue to stack classes like that. You continue to surpass that 50% threshold in regards to blue chip ratio. You do that on a year in, year out basis, and you continue to attack the portal the way that Beamer has shown he will do. You know, I think you give it 3, 4, 5 years. I think we're in a very, very good position. Because again, the proof's in the pudding. You're above that 50% blue chip ratio. You got a real shot to be a really good football team. And if South Carolina, as I've mentioned previously, if the Gamecocks, if we're 5, 6 years from now in the SEC championship, we will look back and we will say it's because recruiting changed. You know, blue chip ratio, that changed. That's something that Muschamp didn't do, certainly. That's something Spurrier didn't do. Hitting that 50% or greater blue chip ratio. If Shane Beamer's able to do that, watch out. And it's a good start thus far. It's a very good start at this point. So, let's see. Eric Reese, do we think these welcome home tweets include the transfers? I think so. I want to say yes. I think so. Carbine, question for 2023. The receiving room most likely will be Juice, Leggett, and somebody else. Do we add someone in that 3 spot with the portal? One of our freshmen, maybe Brown? Yeah, Carbine. I would think you got Vakari Swain, I believe, committed as well. You know, you take a look at the recruiting class. Let's see. You take a look at the recruiting class. Let's see. How many other receivers do we have? Swain's an athlete. Kelton Henderson's an athlete. CJ Adams, a receiver out of Petalbrook, Mableton, Georgia. Cameron Sandlin's an athlete. Judge Collier's an athlete. Tyshawn Russell, the kid you just got yesterday, he's a wide receiver. So, I mean, I would not be surprised at all if they went to the portal, especially if there's a guy out there that can help you. I mean, I would love to see them beef up with another receiver or two. I absolutely would. Would love to see it. Would love to see it because Juice coming back would be huge. Juice is obviously going to be your number one. You're going to need somebody else to help him, though. You're going to need somebody to help him, right? And then Trey Knox, if you get him. If you get Trey Knox. Yeah. If you get Trey Knox. That'd be big. Be massive. So, anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. I will be going on Mark Ryan's show today at 4:40. Looking forward to that. Always fun to chat with Mark, and I'm sure he'll want to talk some recruiting today. Maybe we'll talk some bowl game. I honestly have no idea. So, Jesse Jacobs, I believe Jalen Brooks is done. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he's got another year. Travis Allen, yeah, Landon Sampson could be another one. You know, we'll see. We will see. Brennan M., Therapy Monday starts now for me. Yeah, Brennan, hope you're doing well. Brennan apparently had some work done to the teeth this morning. The old dentist visit. I'm somebody, I don't hate the dentist. There's some people that hate going to the dentist. I don't hate the dentist. I actually like I like the dentist in the sense of I like getting my teeth cleaned. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling going and leaving. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? I'm not anti-dentist. It's not my favorite thing to do. Oh, Rebecca, stop it. Stop it, Rebecca. Come on. Rebecca. You're back with your man, Rebecca. Is that right? Who you back with, Rebecca? You ain't back with me. Don't put my name. Who you back with? I know you ain't back with Dale. Stephen World Jr., thoughts on the Braves offseason so far? I haven't seen really who they've signed. You know, I saw Dansby's going to the Cubs. I didn't think they were going to re-sign him, man. I mean, listen, I love that Dansby got his money. I love that Dansby got his money. I think the Braves were probably smart for I think the Braves were smart for not paying it. You know, I mean, you hate to see it, right? Because Dansby, you think of Dansby, he's a Brave, but you know, you can't. There's no reason to overspend. No reason to overspend. So, Austin Gregory says Rebecca Chris 2023. No, Austin, I'm accounted for, my good friend. I will pass respectfully. I am I'm accounted for, and that's all she wrote on that. John, you will not, sir. You will not. Rebecca, who you back with? Rebecca said, John, did you not see Rebecca said she's back with somebody? She didn't tell us. She didn't tell us who. And now I put her on the spot, and she's not going to tell us who it is. Respectfully. Yeah, respectfully. Anyways, Chase Floyd, hope it's Dale from East Tennessee. Here we go again. Here we go again. John says my money's on Martin. Yeah, who are they? She's back with Dale. God dang it. She's back with Dale. How'd Dale win you back, Rebecca? How'd Dale do it? How in the world? God, what a guy Dale is. How'd Dale do it? He must have brought some Orange Crush over for a little date night. I'm glad y'all worked it out, Rebecca. I'm glad. I am. Everybody deserves love. She's the peanut butter to his jelly. Indeed. Oh, I don't even know if I want to read that. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. Rebecca, you're more than well, let's see. You're more than welcome to call in, I think. Oh my God. I think you're welcome to call in, Rebecca. I got to see if you actually are. I don't know. I may have. Let's see. We need to hear the story. We definitely do. We definitely need to hear the story, Rebecca. It's a good day for it. You know, a little bit slower. A little bit of a slower day. All right, this is not Rebecca. We're going to see. Let's jump to the lines.
Spencer.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I think Rebecca's going to lead us to the national championship 2023. Dale's going to walk on in 2023. He's going to be a 5-star recruit. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be QB. He's going to replace Rattler. It's going to be awesome, okay? 5,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, no picks. He's going to be perfect because Dale is that man. He got Rebecca. He's going to get us to the national championship. It's that easy. Thank you.
I love that. Yeah, love that energy. Love that energy. Love that. Let's see. John Edwards said Big Tree just tweeted. Where? Am I missing this? I don't see it. I don't see that, my guy. I don't see that, John Edward. Anyways, I was looking for Rebecca's number. I don't remember if. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it here. I don't know. Weird. Anyways, guys, phone lines are open. John Edward, how are you going to DM me what he said when he didn't tweet anything? You're telling me somebody tweeted. I don't see anything. Oh, okay. He did tweet, and then what, he deleted? Because I don't see anything. That one hurt, man, losing Tree. That one really hurt. I ain't going to lie to you. That was a tough day. That was a tough day with Rebecca, your number's open. We're good. You call us. Give us a ring. Give us a ring, Rebecca. Please do. Give us a ring. Why not? The 1055 from that number. Give us a ring. Braddock, I was checking that list. You are correct. You are correct. John says, Beck, does Dale know about the Spurs Up show? Yeah, I mean, he already called in. Yeah. Rebecca, you're more than welcome. The people, inquiring minds want to hear the story. People want to hear the story. We need to know how Dale got back in the fold. I want to know. I'm curious. What did Dale do? How did Dale woo said lady? What did he do? I need to know. We need to know. We need to know, man. Okay. I see Big Tree's tweet. I don't know. I don't know if Big Tree is gonna. I don't know what he's gonna do, man. I'm not getting my hopes up too high for Tree. Has that ship sailed? I don't know. Has the ship sailed for Tree? Chloe Kitts, 10.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals in an 87-23 victory over Charleston Southern. My God. 64-point win. How about that? Dawn Staley's squad just keeps rolling. Carolina, the AP, on that note, by the way, ironic timing. AP poll just dropped. Carolina at number 1, of course. 28, all of them, first place votes. Stanford at number 2. Ohio State number 3. Indiana 4. Notre Dame 5. UNC 6. NC State 7. Tech 8. UConn at 9. And LSU at 10. That's your top 10. So, Dawn Staley's squad, again, just keeps on keeping on, destroying everyone in their path. Hold on. Beamer's got a call-in show tonight? What? Do what? Okay. Beamer's got a call-in show tonight, apparently. Seems kind of interesting. Call-in show on a Monday. How about that? Call-in show on a Monday. Bro, what is going on at Arkansas? They just had Micah Teese decommitted, 4-star wide receiver. Maybe Loggins can get him. Let Loggins cook. Rebecca said he'd been on my mind, so I got him a laptop for Christmas. You got him a, hold on, what? Hold on. Who won who back? Did you win him back or he won you back? You got him a laptop for Christmas? Sheesh. What in the world? I mean, that'll get anybody back, right? I mean, a laptop? You got him what'd you get him, a MacBook? Dang. Becca, you're down bad. Rebecca is down bad. Down unequivocally bad. Down bad. Bro, let Loggins cook. So hold on, where's the Beamer call-in show tweet? I just saw a graphic. Huh. Interesting. Let's see. I thought, let's see. Sam Pittman on the NIL. I think these comments. So here's something funny, and I love this. So I gave my thoughts on Jaheim Bell, right, when he entered the portal, and I said, stand on business, right? Like, there's no like once you go into the portal, you make that decision. Stand on business. There's no coming back. Here's what Sam Pittman had to say on Trey Knox and Ketron Jackson entering the portal. He says, a little bit surprising. Excuse me. A lot of factors go into that. Other schools, NIL, there's a lot of factors. Not enough balls getting thrown their way. We'll certainly support those guys in what we can. But once you go in the portal, I've said before, you obviously can't come back. And you have to change your mind a little bit on that to get somebody back, as long as it's a reason other than Arkansas is not good enough for me. Obviously, nobody wants a player that feels that way. They need to go. Yeah, he said, to hell with you. If you say to hell with us, we're going to say to hell with you. I love it. I respect the hell out of it. I respect the hell out of it. John Edwards may upset people, but I like watching Trevor Lawrence in the NFL. I mean, dude, I've got no like hate for Trevor Lawrence, really, to be honest with you. Like, I far from hate Trevor Lawrence. I don't pull for him to obviously do poorly. I mean, yeah. How about the Myrtle Beach Bowls today, by the way? Shout out to all the Myrtle Beach folks. The old Dirty Myrtle Bowl taking place. 2:30 kickoff in the Dirty Myrtle Bowl. So, okay. Game. All right, here we go. Yep, 6-7. Carolina calls. One last time at Backstreet. 6-7 tonight. Very good. Okay, so Beamer will speak. I'd be very curious to hear what he's got to say. Ahead of signing day. I'm sure there will be a press conference also on Wednesday. If they haven't scheduled, I'll be very surprised. Which they may not have, but there will most certainly be one. All right, let's jump to the lines.
Call from
Eric.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Just hanging out.
Hey, I got a question. I know everybody's kind of upset about Lloyd leaving and then our tight end leaving, but actually, how much did they contribute throughout the season? I mean, Lloyd was hurt for, what, 3 or 4 games, and then there was parents bitching about, what's his name?
Jaheim Bell.
I can't think of the tight end's name.
Jaheim Bell.
They were bitching he wasn't getting enough touches and all this other shit. Now he's leaving. We're only losing total, about 1,200 yards of offense between two people. And we're getting the transfers coming in and, come out. And even if Spencer stays or leaves, we have quarterbacks in the bag. I said, we're not sitting there like we were 2 years ago with only 2 scholarship quarterbacks. And we don't know what we're going to do. And there's no direction in the program. So what do you think about all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the initial rush of emotion of Bell and Lloyd leaving, I don't think college football fans, I mean, it goes so far beyond South Carolina, but I don't think college football fans will ever get used to their favorite players leaving, right?
Right.
It's
Absolutely. But, I mean, I wish them the most success. Don't get me wrong. I don't want them to go fail because then that'll look bad on our coaching staff like we didn't teach them right,
Yeah. No, yes.
So,
I was going to say that it's and I think everybody or most all, level-headed fans especially wish them well. And, but I think it was that initial rush of emotion, that was tough. And, because most times guys into the portal, they're not playing or it makes sense with those guys.
Right.
It just didn't make sense. But to your point, realistically, from the football side of things, yes, we will find a tight end that will have 500 receiving yards and a running back that'll have 600 rushing yards. Yeah, but
I mean, it's not like another one doesn't exist. I mean,
right.
Who gives a shit what the star rating is?
Right.
I mean, honestly.
Right. Yeah, we'll be. I mean, from the
and
football side, we'll be
this.
fine. Yeah, we'll be fine from the football
Right.
side.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Every year when when everybody does their predictions and who's going to win, who's going to lose, and all this other crap. My brother brought me one of them, schedules or whatever, and I did the same thing. And I'm going to tell you honestly, I'll take a picture and send it to you. I picked us beating Tennessee at the beginning of the year by 20 points. And then I picked us beating Clemson by 3. I had our record at 8-4. I mean, Satterfield wasn't the best OC, but he wasn't just straight garbage, And, looking back on that, I mean, an honest, legitimate question, if you ask a Carolina fan, who do you want to beat? What's the most important victory of the year? Was it Kentucky, ranked 13? Was it us just ass-raping, Tennessee? Or was it beating Clemson? Which would you rather have, the Clemson win or the Tennessee win, if you had to pick one? You see what I mean? You see the frustration? I can see you laughing about it. I mean, that's exactly what it is. If we'd have beat Tennessee and lost to Clemson, there would have been 30% of the people said, at least we beat Tennessee. Well, goddamn, we didn't beat Clemson. I mean, what the hell? Do we suck? Why can't we beat them? But then if we'd have lost to Tennessee and beat Clemson, well, the year is still technically a win because, oh, my God, we about to beat an out-of-conference team that weighs no impact on our conference schedule.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times we beat Clemson. It's not going to move us up in the SEC East.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I would say this. I would say this, that because I'm with you, winning the SEC, winning your SEC games is of utmost importance. We had a caller earlier that said we could, we could go 1-11, and as long as we beat Clemson, he'd be happy. And I'm not of that. I'm not of that mentality. But I will say this.
Right.
I went into this year actually saying that, like, if you asked me right now, would I have rather beaten Tennessee or Clemson? I would have said Clemson, because I just felt like this fan base needed that shot in the arm, because we weren't winning.
Absolutely.
We weren't winning the SEC this year anyways. So it's like it had been so long, like another just painful loss, another blowout loss to Clemson.
Right.
I mean, this fan base, for the overall morale, like what that Clemson win did was incredible. I mean, it's still like I sit here today and I have to pinch myself, like we actually beat them. Like we actually did it.
Right,
like,
absolutely.
It's crazy. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. And then on the other hand, if you look at it, when Spurrier was here and we beat everybody in the East, that one year completely beat everybody, and then Georgia went to the damn championship. Or, when we were beating Clemson 5 years in a row, which was, absolutely fantastic. But, what would you have done? What would they have said during those years? Even in 2010, when we went to the championship game, or in 2011, when we beat everybody in the East, if we'd have lost to Clemson in the year, I mean, everybody would say, well, the season was okay, but, we didn't beat Clemson.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought about it the same way. until Spurrier got here and he was like, look, you don't need to worry about this game. We need to worry about these games. And I was like,
Yeah.
Made sense.
Well, it'll never not be important. I mean, your goals go as, win a national championship, win an SEC championship, win your division,
Right.
and then beat Clemson. I mean, it's on your list of goals. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
I mean, I would just
So-
say from my personal vantage point, if you can't do any of the first three things I mentioned, beat Clemson.
Right.
If you want to have any semblance of a successful season. So, and you did that
Exactly.
this year. Yeah, you did
So-
that this year.
Looking forward with our new OC, who's going to do whatever he does, blend it with our system, his system, and it'll probably be awesome. But what happens if, next year, Kentucky got, what's his name, Liam back as their OC, left the 49ers, went back to Kentucky. Mike Leach passed away, which was horrible, but now you got him, they're bringing in a different OC. So it's kind of like a reset button from 2021 when everybody was in their first year, 2-year kind of thing. What happens next year when we get our new OC, and let's just say we lose to Vanderbilt next year. They have some kind of weird, whatever, great season like Arkansas did last year, or, how a lot of people say we had it this year, or Missouri has a year like that. Is it Beamer's fault because he brought in a new OC and it didn't blend correctly and it's time to fire somebody? Or are we all going to be back on that stupid train again? It's ridiculous. I told my brother, it is so stressful sometimes being a Carolina fan. It's like it's always got to be stressful. It can't just be easy.
Well, I mean, you think about it, you're pulling for an entity you have absolutely zero control over. So that is literally
Right.
In no other walk of life would you advise someone to do that. That is a facilitator of stress. So yes, it will probably always be stressful.
Right.
No, I mean, listen, I mean, I don't think Vanderbilt at home is going to beat us, but at some point they're going to do it.
Right. Oh,
so.
no, absolutely not.
No,
I was just kind of
it'll be
throwing that
another.
out there.
It'll be another roller coaster season, but that's Carolina football. I mean, at this point, I
Oh,
feel
wait,
like you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. So,
What do you think about the Dion thing, dude?
I mean, I think Dion
How
was
awesome is
a great hire for Colorado. Yeah, I mean, I think it's for.
I think, honestly, Auburn dropped the ball. They should have picked him up. But imagine that.
Yeah, I mean,
That would've been-
I
or
think
Georgia
you'd.
Tech.
I think you'd have been. Yeah, Georgia Tech would have been awesome. I think for a school like Auburn, you would have been very split on. Because
Right.
I think Dion's a great hire for a program who can afford to roll the dice because he might not work out. I mean, Hugh Freeze is a much more. He's won in the SEC. He's got a proven track record. I think Hugh Freeze will win and win a lot. Dion, who knows?
Oh, absolutely.
Who knows?
Right. That's just awesome. I'm glad somebody finally took a chance on that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Me too.
that's all I got, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I watch you every day. Everything's always awesome and hilarious. I mean, it's fantastic.
I appreciate it, man. No, great stuff. I appreciate the banter.
No problem. Have a good one.
All right, man. You too. Appreciate it. Great stuff. Great call. A lot of great stuff in that call. Yeah, I mean, I would say this, that I feel like we made the right decision on our OC, and we had to keep it moving, and you don't meet certain expectations, then yeah. So anyways, Rebecca says, I'm looking for some good deals on laptops. Y'all in the comments, y'all help her out. Y'all help her out with that. The laptop I would suggest for you, Rebecca, has got. I mean, my laptop was like $2,000, so I don't think you want to spend that. Nor do you need a laptop with the power that you would spend $2,000 on. So I thought you already got a laptop for Dale. Now you're saying you're looking for good deals. So did you get him the laptop or did you not? Oh, I need answers. We all need answers. Something's not adding up. Something's not making sense. I don't know. Gene Lott says, if you win the East, you beat Clemson every year. I would agree. Gene, I would agree. Winning the SEC first. But again, like I said, your goals every year. Win a national title. Win an SEC championship. Win your division. If you can't do any of them first three, like I mentioned, beat Clemson. Beat Clemson. So, like this year, for example, you didn't accomplish them first three, but beat Clemson. You know what? It makes the year a lot sweeter. Put it that way. All right, let's jump into another break, guys. On the other side, I want to continue to hear from you more. Your questions, comments, calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back taking your questions, your comments, your calls. Steven, any news or leans on Lenoris Sellers? That is the most talked about dude, man. Everybody wants to know about Lenoris Sellers. Steven, I don't know, my guy. No news, no leans. As far as I know, he is a Syracuse Orangeman. That's what I know about him. I don't know much of anything about Lenoris Sellers, my guy. I don't know. I do not know. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Rocking and rolling this Monday. Apparently, Rebecca and Dale are back together. That's new news for us as well. Steven, news on Harbor. I've heard nothing new. Yeah, hopefully we get, I mean, from everything I heard before, we were trending well on Nicholas Harbor. I will say this. We will have JC Sherbert on Wednesday at 1:15. My brain's like melting reading Rebecca's comments. We'll have JC Sherbert on 1:15 on Wednesday to talk signing day, and he'll give us a full breakdown of the signing class, and of course we'll get some updates on guys like Nick Harbor and others. So Lenoris Sellers, everything y'all need to know. Rebecca says she feels like shit. She stayed up till 3 a.m. at Dale's. Good God almighty. Who knows? Man was putting in work. Dale putting in work. Thomas Walker says, Sellers says he's a 6 to 7 on a scale as far as his commitment to Syracuse. I mean, I just wonder, Thomas, again, like, can we realistically, does it make sense to bring him in? I mean, with all the quarterbacks we have, I feel like it's almost like a selfish want. Like, we just don't want him to go somewhere else. I had somebody say I think he was like the greatest quarterback prospect ever from the state of South Carolina. I'm like, really? That seems aggressive. Granted, I don't know. I don't know the kid that well. I'm not going to say I know the kid that well. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. A little bit of a slower day, honestly, slower weekend. We could talk about whatever you like. Again, I want to say thank you all so much for the love and the support on the merchandise side of the business, guys. We're probably about 98% of the way in regards to everything sent out. All the towels that were ordered for by Christmas delivery, all those have been sent out. I was waiting on more inventory of koozies to show up, and we got those, I believe, on Friday. So we'll be getting those out, packaging tonight, shipping out tomorrow, and then we will be done. We'll be done as far as by Christmas delivery stuff. So again, I want to say thank y'all so much, man. It's truly a blessing, been incredible, and I'm looking forward to a very exciting Christmas for sure. Probably be going home on Friday or so, probably Friday afternoon, go hang out with the fam till Monday, and going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. So hope you guys have enjoyed the Christmas season. We are watching some Christmas movies. I'll tell you this, by the way, shout out Soul Yoga in Greenville. I did hot yoga for the first time on Friday, and boy, oh boy, it was an ass kicking. I'll tell you that. It was fun. It was nice. It was good. It was like just a cleansing of the body, cleansing of the soul, but it's tough. Very tough. It's very tough. Anyways. Luke RJ, over under 8.5 wins in 2023. Well, funny question about that, Luke RJ. The first week of January, and you probably already know this, I will give my way too early predictions for the 2023 season. So 8.5 is a good number, though. I'll tell you, that's a good number.
Call from
Hunter.
Hunter, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. Just got off work for the whole week for Christmas. So
Wow, very
kinda
good.
tied up.
Very good.
Yeah, tied up and bored now. Well, yeah. So what you think on Notre Dame's defense? Do you think they have the same defense as they showed up with Clemson or something? Or I'm not sure if they have any opt outs on that.
Yeah, they one of their DBs and one of their D linemen opted out, but I think with Spencer Rattler and Antoine Wells both playing, and if you keep things simple, I think we should be able to have some success. My greatest concern in that game, just looking at it, is, and we'll start to break it down much more in depth next week, but I would say my greatest concern will be stopping the run, especially with no Pickens. They can run the football pretty well, and I think they will focus on running the football because their quarterback obviously opted out of the kid that's playing, started the first half of the year, whatever. But, that'd be my greatest concern. I think offensively we'll be fine. I think we will.
Okay. And one other question. So what you think about next year, like on the recruiting cycle? Like, I guess, like, do you think we're going to pick up any 5 stars at all? Or?
Well, we might pick up one, this cycle with Nick Harbor. I think there's still a really good chance that we land him. I know that Maryland's recruiting him hard. Heck, everybody's recruiting him hard. LSU's recruiting him hard. But, that'd be huge.
Yeah,
that'd be huge to land Nick Harbor, man. It would be absolutely huge. So, but I don't
think.
I
was actually thinking from last year when we had the head coaching when they were trying to hire a coach for us. And actually, I was thinking back on Billy Napier and Shane was actually competing for the job for South Carolina. I'm actually thankful for Billy not taking that job with us, or Ray Tanner not hiring him, because all we can know we could have lost to Vanderbilt this year, this year.
Yeah.
And it would have been horrible.
Yeah, they Florida had a rough year. I know they beat the I know they beat the hell out of us, but they had a very, very rough year. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, that's all I needed. I just figured I'd call in since I'm off work. So
yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Bye.
Take care, Hunter. Great stuff from Hunter as always. So 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377 here on this Monday. John Edward, thoughts on possibly getting Mazeo Bennett? I think they're pretty good. He was just on campus over the weekend and visited and decommitted from Tennessee. And, I think with Loggins now in there and a new offense, and, I think there'd be a lot of reason for him to come to South Carolina. So that'd be a huge pickup. I think it's important to keep a guy like that at home. I think it's important like that to keep a guy like that in state for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Deshaun Fenwick ran all over Florida in the bowl game. Former Gamecock. Yeah, I did see that. Dude, Oregon State beat the hell out of Florida. Beat the hell out of them. Beat the hell out of him. Ask Me says, Beamer will be the only head coach in Carolina history to win back-to-back bowl games in his first 2 years. Isn't that something? That's wild when you think about it. That is wild. Luke RJ, what's the temperature in those hot yoga sessions? It's pretty damn warm, my guy. I don't know exactly what the temp is, but it's warm. I was pouring sweat. Austin Hicks, who was slapdick of the day, I don't know, some dude that I don't know. Somebody commented earlier, but we didn't really have an official slapdick of the day. I don't know. By the way, guys, hey, it's almost that time. It's almost that time. In about a month, we will start breaking down Carolina baseball. Yep, we'll start talking baseball and counting down, and I'm probably either the second week as I look at the calendar, probably that second week of January Yeah, the 8th through the 14th that week. I will probably head out of town, do something, go on a vacation some sort. Probably no TDC. But that next week, I think probably the January the 17th or 16th or whatever will be 1 month until first pitch. So 1 month till opening day. And that will be the week that we start talking baseball. So looking forward to it, man. I mean, you guys know I'm a huge baseball guy. It's obviously very, very exciting. Yeah, so I'm super pumped. It's I look at baseball season, and I always have, but I really look at baseball season, guys. It's an opportunity for me to separate myself as a content creator. It really is. It really is. It's an opportunity for me to separate myself from everyone else that makes content around the Gamecocks and just makes content in general because, I have the unique advantage that I'm as passionate about baseball as I am about football, truly, honestly. And, I would say this. I will say I love football. I love the way, because I get asked a lot, what's your favorite thing to cover, right? What sport's your favorite? And obviously, there's nothing like a Saturday in the fall in South Carolina. There's nothing like a Saturday in the fall in the SEC. It's just that excitement, that energy is insane. But you know what I do love about basketball and baseball, especially baseball, is like I love how chill it is. I love how low key it is. I love how I know there's a lot of games and the scarcity is what makes football great, but I love that in baseball, like you lose a game, hey, you get to show up. The best part about baseball is you get to show up tomorrow. You get to play again tomorrow. You know what I mean? It is a marathon, not a sprint type feel, and it's not like there's not as much chaos. Like football is just pure chaos. It's controlled chaos. That's what football is. Baseball's chill, man. Baseball's, hey, man, we're rocking. We're getting after it. And I love it. I truly love it. I truly love it. So, Connor Lee, are you going to do an opening day grill out again? I don't know. We'll definitely do opening day dogs for sure. We'll see. And the difference is this: like, I don't have a backyard anymore like that. I don't have a backyard anymore. Spoiler. So, nah, we'll probably just be in studio. Might delete some glizzies on the live. We'll have to get P-Doc tuned in for that. Delete some glizzies on the TDC. But other than that, I probably won't grill the actual food. Yeah. Jacob E says Kingston's garbage. We'll be lucky to see the postseason with this lineup. I'll have my full breakdown and prediction as we get closer to the season. I'll tell you this, though. I expect this to be much better. And that's not saying much of anything, but I do expect this to be much, much better this upcoming season. Absolutely. Let's see. Excuse me, guys. Tyler Knoll, got to be super regional or bust for Kingston this year. If he fails to get us to the postseason again, he's got to go. Oh, I agree. That if we fail to go to the postseason, he's got to be gone. And I hate it. I mean, there's a part of me that hates it because we've just been going through coaches in every sport like it's going out of style. But for Carolina baseball, man, it's the expectations. They are what they are, and if you don't meet the expectations, you got to go. You got to go. That's it. You got to go. Luke RJ said we play well with extra time to prepare for a football game. What percentage of confidence do you have in South Carolina winning this bowl game against Notre Dame? I feel pretty good about it. I do, especially since Spencer Rattler's playing. Juice Wells will play. I'm actually very confident. I'm very confident. I'm like I said, I'm excited to get into it next week and really start breaking down the game. But I think Notre Dame is very beatable. I think they're very gettable, and I mean, if that same offense shows up, if that same offense shows up, then why not? How about Florida has emerged as a contender to land Coastal Carolina transfer Grayson McCall? Wouldn't that be something? I know he wants to try his hand at SEC football, but I don't know, man. It's just like he could have stayed at Coastal and just been a legend. I don't know. Hunter Herlong, Crown of Baseball is held to higher standards than our football program, as it should be, Hunter. As it should be, right? As it should be. I mean, we've won national championships on the diamond. It should be held to a higher standard, no question. No question. Austin Hicks, who are some younger guys you think will play in the bowl game? Well, I think Anthony Rose for sure will play. I think Lavassier Carroll might see some action. Maybe some guys at wide receiver. Definitely tight end, right? Now the red shirt thing is gone. Now the red shirt thing's done, right? So guys can play, and it won't impact if they're red shirting, not red shirting, whatever. So I think you could see Xavier Short. Stephen White says, does DK stay another year? Let me ask you this. That's a great question to open up to the masses. And I don't know. There's not a right answer here. This is just truly, and so I know what the answer is probably going to be. But what I was going to say was, would you advise Dak Joyner to stay another year? Or would you advise him to move on if you were advising to carry on Joyner? I mean, I think it's so tough to answer because it's really just what does Dak want, right? It's what does Dak want? Because he could come back and have a role on the football team. I don't know what his role would be necessarily, but he'd have some sort of role. Or if he's just tired of football, tired of workouts, tired of practice, tired of everything that comes with it, he could transition into adulthood, because I think we all agree that Dak Joyner is probably not going to be an NFL guy. So I think that's a personal decision for Dak Joyner, man. I don't think it's a decision that any of us can make. You know, he's got a child. So, I mean, I think, does NIL play a factor? If there's NIL money to be had, I think it'd be smart for him to stay as well and get that NIL money, right? But I don't know. Austin Lewis, do you think Amarian Brown is a big bowl game? I mean, I hope so. I mean, it's going to be him and Juice and Leggett, Jalen Brooks. I mean, it's, he's going to be one of the guys. So, and he's coming back next year. I'd love to see him have a big game. Let's see. Luke RJ, Dak for QB1, my guy, 2023. Run it back. Anyways, guys, really excited. By the way, let me remind you, of course, our TSUS tailgate next Friday in Jacksonville, Lot J, right? Lot J outside of the stadium. Looking forward to it. Our friends Carolina Cigars partnered up with them. We'll have the Irish packs on sale. The Irish packs will be for sale. Looking forward to that. Yeah, going to be a good time. So, looking forward to the game, man. This might be my first bowl game. I've told you guys, my first bowl game, though, not in Charlotte. So, I'm very, very excited about that. And, yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it for sure, man. I think there's going to be a lot of Gamecocks. A lot of Gamecocks in Jacksonville. So. Thomas Walker said, I love the guy, but Luke makes so much sense at Coastal. Yeah, I mean, if Rattler's back, I'd be. I mean, maybe Luke's a guy that wants to be a Gamecock just his entire life, and if so, that's awesome. But I'd be pretty shocked if Luke Doty returned if Spencer Rattler is back. So that would make a lot of sense. It would. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break. On the other side, I want to continue to hear from you. More your questions, comments, calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 10 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. Tyler Knoll says, I don't know how y'all think Luke can't be a SEC quarterback. No one's ever seen him healthy play a game since he's been here. The 4 games he played under Bobo was a cluster, and half the team quit. The kid has the tools to be successful. Y'all have written him off for whatever reason. You're not a top 100 nationally ranked recruit at a high school if you can't play ball. This fan base is so quick to pass judgment. Tyler Knoll, what's so funny, the reason I laugh reading your comment is because, dude, we have our BCC hangouts, right, in the Big Cock Club Discord. We have our hangouts in there. And really what they are, it's almost like it's a Twitter space on steroids. Everybody can speak. And, dude, I mean, we probably had an hour-long back and forth of people debating in the BCC hangout about Luke Doty. Luke RJ being one of the top debaters, if you will, in regards to Luke. Luke RJ is not a Luke Doty fan. We'll put it that way. Or not a believer that Luke Doty can be or that he is an SEC quarterback. Let's just call it for what it is. So it's just funny because we've had that debate. I tend to agree with you in the sense of I'm not sitting here fighting the fight of I believe Luke Doty is some elite QB, but to be fair, like we really haven't, and it's unfortunate, we just haven't seen him in a position where I really feel confident I can say like that best version of Luke Doty's not very good. I mean, the whole 2021 season he was hurt. I mean, playing on a bum foot. It just doesn't feel fair. It doesn't feel fair to completely judge the guy, to cast judgment when he's been hurt. Okay. So now it's confirmed that Juice Wells will play in the bowl game. I guess I was just assuming. I didn't know there was even a question if he'd play or not. Let's see. Apparently, yeah, Juice Wells has confirmed. Yep. Juice Wells has confirmed he will be playing in the bowl game. So this is what Juice Wells said about his upcoming decision, by the way. A lot is going to go into it, Wells said. I've got to figure out what my quarterback is doing. I've got to figure out what's best for me mentally, physically. So Spencer Rattler's going to play a big role in his decision. Let's jump to the phone lines.
Call from
Rebecca.
Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
Good. Trying to get woke up.
It's
I mean,
great.
it still ain't fully awake. Trying to drink my sweet tea to get me all woke up. It's my morning coffee.
Drink you some Orange Crush. I'm sure it'll wake you up.
No, it's sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Okay. So what's the story? What's going on with Dale? Fill us in. What's up? How did this come back about? How did Dale get back into the picture?
Well, I've been thinking about Dale for the last couple of days. And I've had him on my mind. So I thought I would be nice to give him a Chromebook laptop for Christmas and go by and play, sneak and play Santa. But that didn't happen that good in a way because he wasn't home at the time that I wanted to see him go out the door and see if he got the laptops and all that, but he was gone to Walmart with his sister. So
anyway,
So you reached out to Dale, and he was just wide, just wide open, ready to get back with you again. It was just a no-brainer for Dale.
and let me finish, Chris.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
So I went over there, knocked on the door, opened the door up. He opened the door up and he said, "That's sweet of you to give me your laptop and stuff." And he said that, "You sure I was going to buy it off of you and everything else?" And I was like, "Oh." I said, "This is your Christmas." So he was telling me that his sister needed a laptop, and I had another laptop here that I was going to get rid of anyway, because I'm going to get me a new laptop when I get paid, when I get my check. So I'm going to go over there about 4:30 tonight, after all. Go see Dale and see his sister and give that other laptop to her, where she can do her GED or something she's been wanting to do. She's been wanting a laptop where she could work on that. So I got a hold of her and everything. So I'm supposed to meet her over at Dale's at 4:30.
So the laptop was really what brought the relationship back together.
Not really.
Well, then what was it, Rebecca? You're killing me. The people want to know.
Mostly when I was with Keith, I couldn't get Dale off my mind when I was with Keith. And he was bringing up his exes, and I was bringing up my exes. And I still had feelings for Dale. So, and when it didn't work out with me and Keith, I took a week off being single again. And then I thought, well, I'll just go over there. I went one day last week just to be nice, to wish him a Merry Christmas. And he don't do meth. Somebody asked if he done meth. He don't do meth. I don't know where in the hell you got that from. Anyway. And then from there, I've been having him on my mind. So.
Sounds like it's meant to be. Sounds like it's meant to be.
Right.
Who was the married one? Was it Dale or Keith?
Keith was the one.
Keith was the one.
He went back to his wife. I don't know why he went to that dumb bitch anyway. To be honest. His mother and his sister and all his friends, all his family don't give a rat's ass about his ex-wife. I mean, his wife. They don't like her at all. So, and I got a message from her last night on a text message told me, you need to leave Keith the fuck alone and all this bunch of bullshit. I said, I'm not over at Keith. And she said, I know you're over at Dale. I said, yeah, I'm over at Dale's. What does it matter to you? You think I give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? What does it matter if I'm over at Dale?
You're free to do as you please.
Right.
So is everybody friends with each other? Like everybody knows each other and all that, or is this like?
Like what?
Like
I know his mom.
Keith and Dale and everybody just knows each other. Everybody in this story.
Well, Dale and Keith is neighbors in the same complex, in the same area. They're both neighbors.
They're neighbors.
So,
okay. So they literally live side by side.
a little bit 2 doors down is Keith. Not like side by side of Dale. So.
That's wild.
Mhm.
Where's
Martin does not. He lives in another town.
Another town. So Martin is okay.
He's way over there.
Okay. Well, I mean, no wonder you couldn't stop thinking about Dale. He was 2 doors down away. I'd probably be in the same predicament if I'd right there. Yeah, it's tough.
I am 32 years old. Somebody asked me how old I am. No, it's not a trailer park. It's housing project. Y'all already reached 2:00. Then might as well get off here.
Well, Rebecca, I appreciate you updating us. That was the finish to the show we needed. So,
all right. I hope everybody have a Merry Christmas down there in South Carolina.
Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. You and Dale now. So.
All right, I'm going to get off here. You finish the show off.
All right, Rebecca. Again, Merry Christmas to you and yours. We'll talk soon.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
What a finish to the show. Guys, on that note, we're out of here. Appreciate you all tuning in. Podcast, of course, dropped this morning. Go check it out. Episode 730, what? No, excuse me, 743. See, I'm getting my numbers mixed up. 743 dropped this morning. TDC all week. Next pod will drop Thursday because we've got signing day on Wednesday. But yeah, stay tuned to all the content bleeding out the eyeballs, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thank y'all so much. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we will talk to you all tomorrow.